Now, folks, if you'll just gather around a little closer now. Come right in a little closer. That's it. That's fine, folks.
Now, I believe whatever's going on between Marcellus and DEONTAY is not about the alleged 2 women that DEONTAY has slept with who were Marcellus's girlfriends. I don't think it's about that. I think this is deep-rooted sibling rivalry. And if you're in the circle or the family, you'll probably get more of an insight to what this is about. I don't know if Marcellus is looking for the sympathy vote. DEONTAY is keeping quiet because it's not a current topic that he can win. Because my elder brother, he's the champion, he's bigger, he has more notoriety, he can get any woman he wants, he's rich. And Marcellus is not what DEONTAY is. So DEONTAY is always going to come out looking like the bully. Replying would be a waste of time. Fair is fair, though. Fair is fair. Now let's look at Marcellus. Is he the humble, shy, quiet guy who couldn't harm a fly, who's never did anything like that to anybody himself? Has he ever mistreated any women who may have loved him, but he didn't reciprocate? Has he ever slept with anyone else's women? Well, if the answer is yes, what goes around comes around. It is what it is. If you play, you pay. Marcellus, from what I saw when he was in London or in England, the way he was talking shit to Tony Bellew, like he wanted to fight. He led the charge against Dominic Brazil, didn't he? When Dominic got assaulted. But now, he wants everybody's sympathy because he's been hard done by. Would it make a difference if it was one of Marcellus's baby mothers, as the vernacular the streets use, or his wife? Look, women today, they always say, you don't control me. And they're right. Whether it's the mother of your child or your wife. If she wants to go sleep with someone else, your brother or your friend or a stranger, she'll do what she wants to do. Any woman who would do that, as I said in the previous video, is not your woman and never was your woman. And you have to come to terms with that. And the quicker you do, the better for you. They may have an unhealthy relationship, Marcellus and DEONTAY. DEONTAY said he wanted to go back down to Cruiser. He's talking about beating up his brother. But at the same time, has Marcellus ever used his brother's name to gain an advantage, to get girls? Yo, I'm the brother of the champ. Well, if he has done, what they'll do is go through him to get DEONTAY. Because you're the brother of the champ, you're not the champ. And I'd be very surprised if DEONTAY had to put in a whole lot of work to have sex with Marcellus's so-called girlfriends. They probably just flung the ting on him. Easy, easy, easy. I don't think he had to work for it. And in my opinion, that does make a difference. It doesn't make it right, but it does make a difference. If you give a man a sitter, an open goal, he's going to take advantage of it. Deontay Wilder doesn't have to struggle to get women. But yeah, I feel there's more to it. I feel Marcellus probably isn't in the circle and isn't getting the benefits that he used to get, whether that's financial or social standing, etc. I think it's more than just the 2 girls, in my opinion. When Wilder was champ, he was in the entourage, and there must have been a lot of benefits that went along with that, and now he's not getting them. The whole Deontay banging his girlfriend is a big deal when, let's say if it was a couple of years back when Wilder was champ, he wouldn't be bothered by that. There was an abundance of women around. Look at how Wilder communicates with his wife. Yeah, I mean, him and Marcellus were probably running trains on chicks and everything was cool. But when you're ostracized, you got bills to pay. He may have a certain lifestyle that he's trying to keep up with that he just can't afford on his jacks. I don't know if they can repair the relationship because, Wilder's wife, no doubt, has seen and read. She may have known already. Yeah, maybe they've got an open relationship. And a lot of people are neglecting that he didn't say Deontay slept with women of his that he loved. He referred to these women as bitter hoes. Well, if they're bitter hoes, why do you go into social media about it? Why do you care about some bitter hoes? What really struck me was the size of Abraham Nova and that diamond-shaped back he had. Big dude. And once again, SHAQUIE had to rescue a fight for the second time in a row in the late rounds. He was losing the early rounds to Hernandez. And I don't believe he beats Joe Cordina. I don't believe he beats him. Joe works at a steady pace. He could fight inside and on the outside, and he's not going to give SHAQUIE time and space to pot shot and counter and not really do a lot of work in the early to mid rounds. Joe has power at 130, and when I suggested that Cordina would beat SHAQUIE Foster on Twitter, I was met with responses from people across the pond talking up SHAQUIE like he was Chavez Sr. or Rocky Lockridge at the weight, and he isn't that, in my opinion, but he is a good fighter. And I'll give you an honest breakdown, like, if you think I'm being biased. I don't think Eddie Hearn and Cordina want the fight, because I think they've bought in to this almighty SHAQUIE narrative that's being put out there, and he's a good champion and he's a good fighter. But in my opinion, not someone who Joe Cordina should be afraid of. It would be a great fight. SHAQUIE sealed the win with a knockdown in the 12th that on the replay didn't look like a knockdown to me. SHAQUIE was talking about fighting Navarrete next, so, you know, Joe has got other issues in the form of 27-1, 27 inside the distance, Eduardo Nunez. He won an eliminator for Joe's 130-pound IBF strap, stopping the taller southpaw Shafqatdon Rhakimov in 11. Absorbing battle. Rhakimov never plays it safe. And Nunez is interesting because, you know, he's Mexican, and they say Mexicans, you know, steam in, all guns blazing. But he's 5'6", not particularly tall in comparison to the likes of Rhakimov. But he's a counter-puncher, and he moves very well. He doesn't waste his punches. A lethal body puncher, has to be said. And it's a combination of things, isn't it? I mean, the stats, 27 knockouts in 27 wins. All right, we know what he can do. And then you factor in Rhakimov's battles with Jojo Diaz, tough fight. Zelfa Barrett on the floor a couple of times, very tough fight. The Joe Cordina fight, very tough. And you ask yourself, you know, at 29 years of age, has he just blunted himself a little, being in all them wars? And then to add to that, you're facing a fighter who looks like a superb athlete, Nunez. Great condition. There's muscles everywhere. And if you look at the hand and eye coordination on the finish, the hand speed, like I was in awe. You know, sometimes, maybe not, but sometimes I watch boxing, I get a bit jealous of the fighters when I see them do certain things. Well, that looked really impressive. Imagine being able to treat your opponent's head like the speedball. That's what he did. Beautiful finish. The body punching was awesome, and it just weakened Rhakimov. You know, I've seen it happen to Don Curry and other great fighters. I'm not saying Rhakimov is great, but they're normally on the front foot. They normally don't back up. All of a sudden, Rhakimov was boxing on his back foot to get out of the heat of the kitchen. Them body shots. Yeah, he backed up. Back the fuck up! Back the fuck up! And although he landed some good shots, he never caught Nunez square like that on the chin. Nunez rolled a lot of the shots, and he did take some. But the ones he took with no issue at all. Thoroughly entertaining contest. Eddie Hearn jumped up. I don't know where he jumped up and banged his head in celebration, because Nunez is promoted by Matchroom. He busted his head, Eddie. I'm not sure if Joe Cordina was celebrating like that, because that's just, like 27 knockouts, 27 wins. His last 18 inside the distance. 26 years of age. Very impressive, very impressive. The fight took place in Tajikistan, Rhakimov's backyard. And you have to wonder, like, how is Eddie Hearn not winning them purse bids? Or did they make a purse bid for that eliminator? I mean, whatever promotion won it from Tajikistan don't even have their results registered on BoxRec yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it couldn't have cost much to secure that fight. And a lot of people are saying that Matchroom lose too many purse bids. Way too many. I'm not sure if that's true. I think the ones they lose are just highlighted more. You'd probably find they win more than what they lose. In an amazingly quick turnaround, Sevanathi Nontshinga regained his light flyweight IBF title from Adrian Curiel, who knocked him out in 4 in November last year. He gained revenge with a 10th round stoppage and got back his belt. in Mexico, where Curiel resides. Curiel was winning the early rounds with his pressure, but he started feeling sorry for himself as we approached the championship rounds, touching his head, complaining about rabbit punches. And look, there was a lot of wild shots being thrown by both men. Protect yourself at all times. It was a war. And I don't know if Curiel was hoping for some hometown favours from the ref, but he didn't get them. There was a 1-2 with the backhand, the right hand, followed up by the left at the end of the ninth that Curiel didn't recover from. He was hurt badly. And Gabe Rosado, who was commentating for the Zone, was asking the question why Nontshinga wasn't pushing the attack and trying to get the guy out of there. But Nontshinga was looking for the counter-punching opportunities. And as Curiel, who should have been all about self-preservation, just trying to hang on and recover, he kept attacking and he got countered with that big right hand and he didn't recover in the 10th. And although a lot of Nontshinga's follow-up shots missed, there were so many unanswered punches going in, the referee waved it off. Stunning fight, stunning finish. Curiel, well, he had 4 stoppages on his record before recording the upset win last year in a fight where he was the underdog. I picked him to win the rematch. Not because I thought he was necessarily a better fighter than Nontshinga, but the quick turnaround from November till now. I picked him to win. And he threw the fight away because he should have been trying to protect his lead. But I don't think he knows how to implement defense like that. I don't think it's in his nature. Or he's never been taught it. Or they've taught it, but the lessons haven't sunk in. Sonny Edwards is considering dropping 4 pounds and moving down to light fly and challenging Nontshinga for his title. I think it's a fight Sonny could win. I don't imagine losing the 4 pounds is going to be much issue. It's a fight Sonny could win. He could outbox that guy. I could see that. Dangerous fight nonetheless. But that's what Sonny's in the game for. On the undercard for Nontshinga versus Curiel, Mauricio Bronco, LARA, well known to the UK for knocking out Josh Warrington and Lee Wood, the bit of a menace. He looked like a fading force and he's only in his mid-20s against the game-tough, well-conditioned Daniel Lugo. It looked like Lara was going to jack it a couple of times when he was getting backed up and pummeled and hurt by body shots. They scored it a majority draw. I'd have to go and score it round for round, obviously. Looked a little suspect, though.
Oh, massive fight. Potential fight. One of the biggest fights that you can make in British boxing. For me, a fight that needs to be on the right stage. And it's a huge fight, potential huge payday for both of them as well. Adam's 21, his profile is enormous, and he's definitely one of the jewels in British boxing, and Dalton Smith's an extremely talented fighter, and one with the experience and huge amateur experience, 27 years old now. Tough fight at the end of March, but it's good to have rivalries. You need those rivalries in British boxing. We'll speak to the McGuigans and Team AZIM and see where their heads are at, but I'd love to make that fight before the end of the year.
Freudian slip.
An unintentional error regarded as revealing subconscious feelings.
A fight that needs to be on the right stage.
In other words, if it's not on the Sky platform, the Boxer platform, the fight's not going to happen. In other words, you're not going to go through with the purse bid. You're messing everyone around, and we're just carrying on from where we left off last year. Now it's with Dalton Smith and Adam AZIM, and it's also Isaac Chamberlain and Chevon Clark from Matchroom main dated to fight Isaac for the British Cruiserweight title. And then we had the issues with Caroline Dubois, Boxer, Rihanna Dixon, Matchroom, and Beatrice Vieira, Matchroom, where Caroline disqualified herself from fighting Beatrice because her and Ben didn't fancy the fight. But when it was Rihanna Dixon, they was all into it. I think they was even prepared to cross over. They just don't want to take no chances. You don't want to enter purse bids with Matchroom fighters in case you lose. It's ridiculous. I mean, what does he mean by the right platform? Does he believe that Sky and Boxer are outperforming the Zone and Matchroom? Does he honestly believe that? I mean, Eddie leaving Sky has really fucked them guys up over there. They're just moving weird. He says he wants Dalton Smith versus Adam Azim this year. Yeah, if Dalton goes over to Sky and Boxer, and it's weird, when Dalton fought Casey Benjamin, I believe his name was, Matchroom let him go over there, over to Sky, over to Boxer, and take the fight. And Dalton won. At the time, Dalton was out of contract with Matchroom, and Ben was pursuing him pretty aggressively, even when he was in contract with Matchroom. But Dalton chose to re-sign with Matchroom anyway. This ain't favourites. I don't want anyone to listen to what I'm saying and think this is favourites. I want it to stop. I want you to enter the purse bid. I don't care if it's with Queensbury or Matchroom or Wasserman.